Hi, welcome to We Don't Know Her, a place where we discuss people we don't know, but they put their whole life out there, so we're kind of forced to know them, but we also can't look away. I'm Becca, and today we are going to be discussing the Merrifields on Seeking Sister Wife. This is part 2 of discussing Garrick and Dannielle Merrifield. We are currently on season 4 of Seeking Sister Wife, which would be the Merrifields' second season. Now, as far as the actual timing and the timeline, I believe this was filmed sometime in 2021, but it did not air until 2022. The Merrifields are currently waiting for Roberta, their first potential sister wife who lives in Brazil, to come to Colorado so she can live with them. At this point, I believe the K-1 visa has been approved and they are just waiting for Roberta to pick it up. And Roberta is not picking up the visa. She is telling Dannielle and Garrick this is because her mother has a lot of health issues. She has diabetes and she takes her to all of her doctor's appointments. They are very upset and anxious about this, but they are just trying to be understanding. So while they wait for Roberta to come over to the States, Dannielle comes up with a genius idea. Actually, God told her that this should be their plan now. And that is to seek out a third wife. The Merrifields do this a lot. Mainly Garrick. If he feels a breeze or, it gets a little windy, it's God speaking to him, telling him, he needs to bang Brazilian chicks. Anyways, it was Dannielle this time that God was speaking to, which makes me wonder if this was Dannielle doing some kind of Uno reverse. Dannielle was very hurt during their last trip to Mexico when they went to go see Bert. And for some reason, the first night quickie scandal, she put a lot of the blame on Bert and not her husband Garrick. So I feel like this plan of them seeking another wife was maybe to try to make Roberta jealous. I just noticed I have not been using my mermaid mic. That's why my hand was going crazy. Here we go. And I don't want to start over, but anyways, Dannielle tells us in a talking head that they did tell Roberta that they would be seeking another wife, and Roberta is already getting very jealous. Dannielle is glowing as she's telling us this, and she says, Roberta's never been through this before. It's gonna be quite the battle. She says that Roberta's just gonna have to be willing to roll with the punches. They are already courting another woman. Her name is Leah, and she is from California. They apparently met her 3 weeks prior to this. And here's the thing, and here is my conspiracy theory and what I believe. I think Leah is a production plant. There are many reasons that lead me to believe this. They say that they met her on a polygamy dating site, which maybe, but I think maybe production went out looking for somebody because they wanted the Merrifields' messy asses on this season. And with Dannielle very much willing to seek out another wife, I think production got to work and they were like, all right, don't worry, you guys, we got this. We will bring someone in. Because with no movement on Bert's end, they really don't have too much of a storyline. And I don't think any random person that Garrick and Dannielle were talking to on social media were willing to meet up with them. So yeah, I think production may have went out fishing. And also Leah, which we're gonna get into her in just a second, is way too cool and smart. I'm sorry. I try to keep my opinions to myself, but she knew what her job was here and she did it. Okay, so Leah is their age. She lives in California. She says she has been in a plural relationship before. So that's what leads me to think maybe they did find her on a polygamy dating site. Garrick and Dannielle make plans with her and they are going to be traveling to California to see her. Dannielle forgot to ask Leah how tall she is. They point out that Garrick's phobia is dating women that are taller than him. They then discuss what height he is, and apparently he's 5'8". He says he has no idea what he's walking into. This was Dannielle and the producer setting all of this up, and I love to see it. So they head to LA. They rented an Airbnb. On the way there, Dannielle keeps mentioning that Bert is gonna be so jealous about all of this. They finally pick Leah up, and she is eye level with Garrick. Garrick says in a talking head he did not expect her to be this tall, but they kind of hit it off with each other. So some more background on Leah. She says when she was younger, she was in a polygamous relationship, which is when she had her son. She didn't give too many details about that, but she just said it did not end up working out, so she left. And now she is willing to try it again. So literally just seconds after they pick Leah up, Dannielle suggests they do a little video chat with Roberta.
I was thinking it'd probably be cool if we do maybe a call or a video chat with Bert sometime to just, yeah.
Today or what, tomorrow or when?
I think today might be good for her.
You know, she was so ready for this. And I gotta admit, it is nice to see Dannielle in good spirits this time around. Although she does very much give don't save her, she don't want to be saved vibes, I still want to see her happy. Leah is very fun and bubbly and very respectful towards Dannielle. They all claim that they want Bert to feel included in this courtship, so that's why they think it's important to video chat her. I guess there have been a few interactions, mainly through text messaging or WhatsApp messaging between Leah and Roberta, and Leah claims that Roberta is very cold towards her. I guess Leah was trying to get to know her and Roberta would only give one-word answers. So this video chat is kind of tense, very awkward. The signal is not the greatest, and also the language barrier.
Hi, Amor.
Oh, hi, sister.
Hi, Amor.
Hi. Oh.
Here.
Hi, Leah.
Hi, how are you today?
Oh, good.
Good. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, she said.
Oh,
Can you hear us?
oh.
The translator. Okay.
We're excited for us all to get to know each other on this trip.
Estamos ansiosos para que todos nós possamos nos conhecer.
Yeah. Thing.
So Roberta does start crying during this video chat, which makes Garrick start crying. So Leah and Dannielle get up and they walk outside together so they can have their moment alone together. When they go outside together, Leah tells Dannielle that she feels like Roberta is always so cold and short towards her. She feels like Roberta is not trying to get to know her at all, which is kind of a red flag. Dannielle is like, yes, girl, tell me more. Tell me the tea. No, but Dannielle in a talking head is just like, well, Roberta has never been through this before, so she's just gonna have to learn how to cope. So this trip is going pretty well, but our little production plant, Leah, is funny. She's always having a good old time with Dannielle, but shading Garrick every chance she gets. It is truly a fantastic watch. At one point, her and Garrick go for a walk, and she questions Garrick if, you know, with this whole God thing, what if half of us, God is telling us one thing, and then the other half, God is telling y'all another thing. What do we do? Garrick tries to speak and then she interrupts and she's like, well, because, you know, Roberta told y'all that God told her that I wasn't a right pick. So, like, how do we figure that out? Garrick is truly too stunned to speak at the moment, but then he goes, well, I'm the husband, so I'll lead the whole God thing here. Anyways, later on that night, they do share a kiss. Don't worry, there's proof, there's evidence. I'm sure production took this picture of Garrick and Leah kissing. And that is basically the end of that relationship. Because Leah was like, all right, give me my paycheck. I'm out. Goodbye. You know, and good for her. I hope we see her on other shows as a production plant. So a few months later, they are finally moving into their giant compound. Because remember, they have been living in a tiny fifth wheeler with their two teenage sons and a giant dog. They say this house will accommodate all of them, plus Bert, plus a potential third wife, plus future babies. Dannielle explains that her and Bert will share a room called the sisters' room. They will take turns with Garrick sleeping in the giant master bedroom. She also says that they put thicker insulation on the walls so nothing will be heard from the master bedroom in the sisters' room. They say Roberta has still not picked up her visa, and the pickup window is getting very short. They also have not been able to talk to her much because the signal is not good. They are growing very anxious because of this. They finally get a hold of her, so I'm wondering if it was Garrick and Dannielle to maybe give her an incentive or production. Anyways, yeah, she's somewhere now with much better signal, and they have a conversation. The conversation is very choppy and weird, and she tells Garrick and Dannielle that she's going to be calling the immigration office. And Garrick and Dannielle are both like, why? You just have to go pick up the visa. Why are you calling them? And not much comes out of this conversation. It's just more confusing at this point. But from this point forward, Bert only has 1 month to pick up the visa and to fly over to the States, to Colorado, until it expires. So after that bizarre phone call, Dannielle and Garrick go out to dinner with her brother and her sister-in-law, who are Sam and Samantha. They are really the only ones that question Garrick's motives, but they still tiptoe. And I think it's because there is mixed business going on here. Garrick owns a construction company, and apparently Dannielle's brother co-owns it. And there's also a lot of sketchy stuff going on in this construction company that I have seen people talk about on Reddit, but I'm really not too sure. Just go on the Seeking Sister Wife subreddit if you want to go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, they see right through Garrick, but they're just not loud about it. It's very strange. So they're all at this dinner, and Garrick and Dannielle are telling them everything that's going on with Bert. And Danielle's brother is like, you guys, are you sure Roberta's maybe not using you guys for money or maybe a green card? Like, come on, let's connect the dots here. Garrick and Dannielle are both just like, I don't know. They are both pretty blind. Well, mainly Garrick. Dannielle, I would say, is half blind. That is coming from somebody who only has vision in one of their eyes. But yeah, Garrick does not believe Roberta is scamming them at all. He says this is just not in her character. He tells Sam and Samantha that they're just gonna have to meet her to know what she's like. And then the conversation moves to baby making. Garrick tells them that when Roberta does get there to Colorado, he wants to focus on immediately making a baby. Danielle's brother almost chokes on his food.
Person. That's what I'm excited for, is you guys to finally meet her. And I think it would be wonderful for even all of us is if we have a baby right away.
Oh, geez, a baby right away. Wow. You're just all about that baby making, aren't you? Who's going to take care of all these babies?
Shortly after this, they tell us that they are taking a trip to Brazil so they can go see Bert in person and talk about everything. Dannielle says this is not meant to be a fun trip, which I think she's trying to tell Garrick, like, no baby making. We need to talk about what needs to happen first. They basically want to go there to have serious conversations and make Bert book a plane ticket to Colorado. They have repeatedly tried to get her to book one, and she just won't do it. In a talking head, Dannielle says she is starting to have doubts about everything, including sending her money. She is questioning if Roberta is actually committed to them. So in the middle of Garrick and Dannielle talking about what they need to do on this trip, Garrick brings up that he does want to try some baby making. Dannielle is like, hold up, wait a minute. No, that's not a good idea. She brings up that the reason they are going in the first place is to try to get Bert over here because she's not coming so far. And then Garrick, in his Joel Osteen voice, says, well, even if she doesn't end up coming, doesn't that mean we're all still a family? Dannielle timidly says, well, yeah. Garrick then says, so what, she should never have kids? Dannielle hits back with, so what, you're okay with her having your babies in Brazil when you're in Colorado? Garrick says, well, what, we're supposed to wait 5 years? Dannielle brings up, well, if you guys do have babies and she's in Brazil, that's not a family if half of you are in one country and we can't even see each other. In a talking head, Dannielle is crying, and she says she is just very emotionally overwhelmed. She is pretty stunned with what Garrick is saying. She says she gets that Bert wants to have her own children, but at what cost? Her own children? So before they leave for Brazil, they do have a video chat with Bert, and even the Google translator has had enough of this BS.
One moment. Sorry.
Okay. Sim, realmente vai ser muito especial.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Would you like?
Oh,
Sim, realmente vai ser muito especial.
one moment.
Who is really going to be very special for...
They finally get to Brazil, and they are not messing around this time. They hire a full-time translator. Her name is Marcella. Marcella says she is aware that they are polygamous, but it's not very common in Brazil. She then adds that it's very strange, and she doesn't really like it. So props to Marcella for giving a real answer when the production asked her what she thought. Anyways, they rented a really pretty 2-bedroom Airbnb. Garrick, of course, has to let everybody know that Bert will be staying with him in the master bedroom. It has been 15 months since the Mexico trip, since they have last seen Bert. Bert finally arrives to the Airbnb, and the reunion goes very well. They are all instantly petting each other. Poor Marcella is just standing in the corner watching. Anyways, Bert tells them that she wants to wait until they are all living together in Colorado until they start baby making. Dannielle breaks down in tears, and she says, "This is just so amazing because I was thinking the same exact thing." Garrick then says, "Well, guess we'll have to use protection." Marcella is having to translate all of this, by the way. Anyways, Bert tells them that she is still planning on coming to Colorado, but she wants to have a conversation with her mom. And she wants Dannielle and Garrick to also have a conversation with her mom. So the first night goes well, because when production comes back the next day, Roberta tells them that her and Garrick were intimate in a very special way, like they had never been before. She says something about it being an exchange of glances, sweet words, and affection. So maybe just not a quickie this time. Anyways, she gets out of bed with Garrick and she goes to hug Dannielle, who is in her own room. Dannielle says she did struggle that night. That day, Roberta wants to show Dannielle and Garrick around parts of Brazil where she grew up. And the petting is constant. Both Garrick and Dannielle say it is very shocking to see where Roberta has grown up and where she has lived. They say it's more poor and dangerous than what they had imagined. Garrick says it makes him understand Roberta's money situation being so poor. I thought that quote was very strange. Because first off, I'm pretty sure he knew her money situation and where she was living. And second off, it goes to show that they were actively sending her money, and he's telling on himself here, saying, "Oh, it makes me understand why she always needs money." Anyways, we finally meet Roberta's mother. She comes to the Airbnb so she can talk with them. She greets both Garrick and Dannielle by saying she loves them and she feels like they are family. I don't think this is the first time they met. I believe when they all met up in Mexico the first time, that was not aired on the show. It was before Seeking Sister Wife started. I believe that Roberta had brought her mother along on that trip. Anyways, they ask her how she feels about Roberta leaving Brazil to come live with them in the States. Roberta's mom says she is very anxious about it and it is way too quick. She says she just wants them to treat Roberta well. This is all very emotional because Roberta and her mother are very close. And yeah, you can just see that Roberta's mother does not want her going anywhere with these weird people. The next day, they all go to the beach together, and Roberta says that she wants to have some quality time with Dannielle. In a talking head, Roberta says she wants to is just doing this for Garrick, or if she actually wants this lifestyle. She says she has noticed some jealousy still. Dannielle tells Roberta that the first trip was very hard, but she is strong now. She tells her she does want this lifestyle. And then Bert drops the bomb about why she actually wanted to speak to Dannielle. And she tells her she cannot believe they started looking for another wife before she got to the States. She says she was not ready for them to start doing that, and it's really messing with her. Dannielle is starting to wonder if Bert is the one who is actually jealous. Bert says it was very shocking when they introduced Leah to her, because she did not expect Garrick to include another person. Bert becomes very upset and walks away, so then Dannielle lets Garrick know what the tea is. So they walk up to Bert to talk to her, and she is now crying at this point. And Bert says she feels like Garrick did not love her when he brought Leah into the picture. Garrick and Dannielle both say it's all just miscommunication. And then we see Dannielle watching Garrick comfort Bert in ways that he has never comfort her.
We don't mean to hurt you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No problem, new wife.
So everything is good again between them, I guess. And the next day, they all wake up, eat breakfast, and they book Roberta's one-way ticket to the States. She will be traveling there in 4 weeks. Bert says she is very happy and excited, but also sad because she will be missing her mom. Dannielle and Garrick are both just like, thank God, we got this plane ticket booked, man. Whew. God is at this kitchen table with us right now. It is their last night in Brazil, and they all go out to a very nice dinner. They want to celebrate the one-way ticket that was booked. But Roberta is still unhappy about them dating Leah. Leah, our little production plant. Dannielle tries to explain to Roberta that it was just God's timing. Bert says it was not God. Dannielle then wonders what Roberta's intentions are with bringing all of this up again after they thought they had resolved it. Bert tells them that she did not want Garrick to be intimate with anybody else. Garrick and Dannielle are both like, huh? No, there was no intimacy. Just a kiss. Which there's proof, the picture that the producers took. Bert says, yeah, exactly. No kisses. No kisses with friends. She says she didn't even know it went that far. She tells them she only kisses people that she wants to be intimate with. Garrick is absolutely shook. He does think Roberta is overreacting, but he cannot believe this is happening.
She just found out that you kissed Leah. She's very hurt to know that right now, on your last day here.
Eu preciso dar uma volta pra esparecer pouco agora. Eu não tô conseguindo mais agora.
She said she needs a break and just go for a walk.
In a talking head, Roberta says she felt very left out tonight. She says she loves Garrick, but this is quite the challenge. Garrick and Dannielle are left in the streets of Brazil, just wandering around by themselves. Roberta and Marcella, the translator, both kind of comfort each other. I feel like Marcella was probably like, girl, come on, like, let's me and you go to the bar tonight. Get away from these people. But no, Dannielle, Garrick, and Roberta all reunite, and they agree that they will just have to work through this. They say their goodbyes, and they basically say, see ya in 4 weeks when you get to Colorado. Production takes a few weeks off, and then they return to the Merrifields' home 4 weeks later, and we are hit with this video.
I don't understand. She said it was my sister. She lied. She lied.
So Roberta did not come to Colorado. And by the way, Dannielle just revealed very recently on her, I think it was Instagram Live, that she did not know Garrick sent that video to production. It is truly one of those moments in reality television that I will never forget about. And I feel bad because she didn't even want it out there. So anyways, Roberta sent them a text message, I think the day she was supposed to leave to fly to Colorado. Here is what that text message from Roberta said. I promise I would get there even after everything on the trip. I tried a lot, but I can't feel the same as before. Everything that took me by surprise. I was left feeling excluded, feeling like nothing. It was so humiliating for me, all asking how I was feeling. Finding out that Garrick and Leah went beyond just conversation and dinner. After that day, I kept thinking that everything we had that was most beautiful, special, and pure has broken a piece and is hurting too much, sister. Maybe for you, it may seem like something easy to go through, but here we have another culture. I'm going to pray something. Try to get some sleep. My head has been hurting a lot since yesterday. I'm sorry. We're all sad. She basically just did what Dannielle should have done a long time ago. Garrick says he just cannot believe this. Now they have to rearrange their compound. Dannielle has to move out of the sister room into Garrick's master bedroom. Lots and lots of tears from Dannielle. Garrick just has that weird loading face. Dannielle says she is so hurt, but also so angry because she got divorced for her. Garrick says it's like she plotted this the whole time. But of course, it all comes back to God. God knows what happened. This is all a part of God's plan. You know, at least Garrick's consistent, I guess. Right? I don't know. Dannielle questions Garrick if he is now questioning the lifestyle. He obviously says no, because it's just brought them closer. They have to break the news to their whole family. Dannielle's brother is like, LOL, yeah, I know. I've been knowing. So they give all of the details. They tell them that Roberta asked them for a large sum of money. And after that large sum of money cleared the bank account, that is when they got the text message from her saying she will not be coming. The family is like, how much money are we talking? They say they sent her just this one most recent time $10,000. Yeah, that is not including any of the other money they have sent her, which they have never talked about, but I'm sure it was a lot. Which brings us to current season / current day. The Merrifield's home is now for sale. Almost $2 million. Dannielle did recently say in an Instagram Live it's a part of God's plan or whatever. I don't know. She won't give us the actual tea. As for season 5, which is currently airing, I will be doing another video on that, a part 3. But they are currently seeking another wife, and it's another Brazilian woman. Oh yeah, before we move on to the next slide, I do want to note that the sister room was pictured in the Zillow post. Now, here are where some rumors, maybe trumors, come into play. Season 5 of Seeking Sister Wife was filmed in late 2022. Dannielle went radio silent on social media from January 2023 to September 2023. And a lot of people in the Seeking Sister Wife world believe this is because she was pregnant. Dannielle and Garrick have not announced this or said anything. Some people believe it's because TLC has crazy contracts. But in their Zillow listing, there are some baby items that are pictured. There is a crib in this room. Also in this picture, there is some kind of baby swing. Here is a close-up of what looks to be the baby swing and a mobile. Now, some people are saying, well, maybe they were preparing for when Roberta came. Other people are saying, well, maybe they have nieces and nephews or cousins. So we don't know. You be the judge of that gossip. That concludes part 2 of the Garrick and Dannielle timeline. Stay tuned for the next part where we will cover the next wife they are seeking, Natalia. And it just keeps getting messier.